And welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through our short break. We hope you're enjoying apparently the trauma.
Apparently.
Only mild trauma.
It's a sprinkling of light trauma.
Yeah, lighter tone trauma. Enjoy the lighter tone trauma.
Now it just targets the people behind the characters, not the character.
It's diet trauma.
Speaking of trauma.
Horrible way to...
1 year ago, a traumatic and world-changing event occurred. We will learn more about it at the start of episode 1 next week. These next scenes take place during the aftermath of that event. Arcelia, it's been 10 minutes since the last aftershock rocked Eopinon. There is damage and panic and chaos everywhere. You see Athid several yards in front of you, stumbling out of the candles. It's one of the major tunnels in the mine network, and he is covered in blood from a large cut above his eye. His overalls are torn, and he looks generally battered and bruised. It takes you a moment to realize that Ava isn't with him. Ava is supposed to be with him.
She's going to rush forward. Athid, are you okay? Did anyone else get out of there? Where's Ava?
She was right behind me, and then there were rocks, and everything was shaking, and I think there are still people in there, and then he collapses.
Oh.
And you can hear behind you the echoing of screams coming from the candles.
Is it relatively stable in the exact space where we are right now?
Everything seems to have stopped moving. You can see towards the entrance a few fallen, some debris, probably from the top and sides of the tunnels. As you move toward it, everything seems stable for the moment.
Then I'll take just a moment to move Athid somewhere that I would believe would be relatively safe for now, or at least relatively stable, and just head down there. Calling out.
You do know that there are, because this is the mining tunnels, there are first aid tents all along this area, so you can drop them off at any of those, and then make your way toward the candles.
So yeah, she'll bring him to a first aid tent, and then just running into the tunnels, repeatedly calling out Ava's name, trying to remember where Ava would be at this moment.
You know that she and Athid were just going in because she doesn't actually work in the tunnels, but she likes going down to look at the different crystals and watching the mining process. All of that interests her. So you know that she's probably wherever Athid usually works, which is a little further in to the candles. And as you're calling, you can hear, usually you hear an echo that just keeps going. But you hear the echo sort of get stunted. And as you rush forward, you realize that's because there's a partial collapse in one of the smaller tunnels that branch off from the candles. And behind that, you can hear people yelling, "Help, we're trapped, it's not stable in here," and things of that nature.
So she is going to start just quickly studying the collapse here, seeing the fallen debris, and trying to figure out if there's a way that she can start moving some of it to help make a space for people to crawl out.
Okay. As you take a look, you've been doing this for pretty much as long as you can remember. It's your family's legacy, and you were always pretty adept at structural, the structural points and engineering within a mine. So it does not take you long to figure out that if you move stones from the area where there's already a hole from the partial collapse, that you can essentially make an archway for people to squeeze out of. And so I'm assuming you begin to do that.
Yeah, she sets to doing that, just using all of her strength and all of her movement that she can.
Okay. And it takes maybe 15 minutes. And as you're working, other miners finally make their way to you and start to help as well. And eventually you have a little archway that people start to come out from. And people are helping people past. And eventually you can see through to Ava, who is further back. She looks terrified. And she also looks like she can't move.
Then I'm going to try to go through the archway and get to her.
Okay. So you go through the archway, and she is in fact stuck. A small collection of rocks have trapped her arm against a wall. And she's just simply not strong enough to move them herself. And no one else seemed to have noticed that she was stuck there. So she sees you and she's like, hey, help.
Don't worry, I've got you, okay? Just, all right, I'm just gonna lift this off of you, all right?
Okay, I mean, it's fine. I don't think it hurt me. It just, I'm stuck.
Well, we should get you checked out anyway. All right. Is it just like this is like a single large rock?
It's a bunch of, I don't know, 20-pound boulder, but they're all kind of, it's almost like a rock finger trap. They've just collapsed in such a way that she's literally just stuck in there.
Okay, then yeah, Arcelia is going to set to trying to get this stuff out of the way and try to keep saying something comforting to Ava, just in case there's some injuries that are present that she isn't feeling yet.
Yes. So you start to move the rocks, and she's like, the more you move, the more she's like, oh, Is it supposed to hurt now? Because it hurts now.
It might. Just don't worry about it, okay? We'll get you out of here. We'll get you patched up. This is just like the end of Volume 3. Remember that? Just think about that part.
Yeah. There was kissing in Volume 3.
There really was a whole lot, actually. Surprising amount.
Yeah. I missed the kissing.
Well, hey, that's what your fanfic is for, right?
Yeah.
You're almost done
Cool.
that when you're writing the part you're writing, right?
Yep. But there's probably going to be a delay because I think maybe my hand's broken now. And she's purposely not looking at what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you eventually free her. And her hand and her arm, there's definitely some damage there. So you're going to have to help her out of that archway that you made.
So yeah, Arcelia will kneel down, help her to move as best she can, and just very gingerly bring her back towards the archway that was made in the rubble, hoping that it's been made larger now if there's other people around to help.
Yeah, it's actually almost completely clear to what it should be at this point. And you pass her off to one of the medics that has also come down this way. And just as you pass her off, there is another small rumble. And there is a collective gasp because everyone thinks it's an aftershock. However, it was just movement in the unstable ground directly beneath you. And a chasm opens under your feet. And you fall maybe 20 feet into an open cavern that no one knew was there. And you black out because that is a long fall.
Yeah.
And when you wake up, you're not sure where you are or how to get out. That is when you notice a small red crystalline hedgehog. It's not exactly a hedgehog. It's not exactly an armadillo. What was the animal that you?
Pangolin?
A pangolin, yes.
Yes. So it's kind of a cross between an armadillo and a pangolin, but where its plates overlap, there's actually crystalline structures that come out from underneath each of those plates. And part of its head almost looks like it's made of crystal. And it is a red crystal creature of some kind. It's not a creature you're familiar with.
Okay.
And it looks at you, shakes its head.
And she'll be like, I don't suppose you know a way out of here, huh?
And it tilts its head, turns around, and starts walking toward a light you hadn't noticed. And it looks like a little tunnel, and it looks like it's big enough for you to fit through. And it gets about halfway down, and it turns.
Oh my gosh, you actually do. Yeah, and then she'll like pull herself back to her feet and stumble after this creature, probably a bit hurt after that fall.
Yeah, you're a little beat up. You don't think anything's broken. You might have a concussion because you did lose consciousness for some amount of time.
Yeah.
And eventually this little creature leads you out into one of the other smaller tunnels of the candles.
And this would be somewhere that I probably recognize how to.
Yeah, you recognize how to get back to where you were once
so
you're back into the proper tunnels.
She'll look down at the creature and just say, thank you.
And it goes,
Oh, you're probably really hungry, aren't you? And you don't want to be around here if one of the tunnels are going to collapse. All right, come on, I'll find you somewhere safe.
and it just waddles along behind you. Its big chunky tail just boop, 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 boop.
And probably up until the point where she actually sees more people, she's gonna not be entirely certain if she's actually seeing this creature.
Nobody seems to be paying it any attention, but you think that might have something to do with the fact that the mines are
There's more going on.
Yeah. So you're not sure yet.
Yeah, so she will take the creature though and check on Athid and Ava as well.
Okay. And as you check on your old friend and make a new one, oh my goodness, Soda, because I don't know how to say this name.
Say Teta.
Say Teta?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to call you Soda. Or
That's
Set.
fine. Yeah.
Maybe I'll call you Set.
Yeah. Set, say, soda.
You wake up to blackness and pain. After a moment, you realize that your eyes are closed and something is nudging and squeaking against your cheek.
Wait. Hello. You're cute.
As you open your eyes, the light is bright. too bright. It pierces through your brain, adding to the pain prickling over the rest of your body. When your vision clears, you take in your surroundings. Mountains, everywhere you can see. You have no memory of going into the mountains. The nudging has now moved to your hands, and there is a soft chittering and a squeak that rises to your ear. Turning your attention to the insistent prodding, you see a little ball of fur, barely larger than your hand, blinking up at you. Its fur is matted and faded, as if something has drained away its once vibrant color. The crystals that normally dot its pelt with swirling patterns are cracked and ashen, and one of its little horns is broken.
What happened to you? Does it hurt? Oh no.
The blue gem mouse tilts its head and blinks at you again.
You understood that. Can you talk?
Chitters at you.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. We just don't have the same language. Okay. Do you know where we are?
It jumps off of your hand and it runs over to a piece of the mountain and it taps at it. And that is when you realize that these mountains are not just mountains, they're crystal mountains. And that is when you realize that you are in, or at least on the outskirts of the crystallitoid mountains.
Okay. I don't know where I'm at. Do I have my pack? Where's my pack? Do I have anything? Oh no.
You don't seem to have anything with you except your cloak and your weapons.
Okay. There's that.
And your cloak is far more tattered and damaged than you remember it being.
Oh, what did I do? What did I do? I didn't do anything, did I? No. Okay, no, this is fine. Okay, all right. Wait. I can make a compass, right? Is there water? There's no water here. Okay.
You hear a very distinct version of chittering. Kind of sounds like laughter.
You know what, Mousy? I don't need this. I do not need this right now. I need support and assurances. And you're a mouse. Oh.
And it looks at you and goes,
okay, all right. I will take that. I will go down.
And it starts walking off in the direction that it was pointing.
Oh no.
You may have hit your head really hard.
Yeah, this hurts. I'm hallucinating. This is a hallucination, and my subconscious wants me safe, so I'm following my subconscious, which is a blue crystal mouse. Fine. This is not good. Oh no.
So you follow the blue gem mouse, and eventually, after a few days, you're very hungry, you're very tired, you're still hurt everywhere. You finally arrive at what you later find out is something called the Garrisol Mining Outpost.
Come here, Mousy. Let's put you up here so no one steps on you. Okay. People. Okay, let's do this. My head hurts. Okay, and she just like walks into town and is trying to track down like a well or some like public source of water.
All right. So you wander into town, and this is a very small town, so people notice immediately when someone new comes in.
Mhm.
And there's an older lady who comes up to you and says, "Oh, dear, you look. Have you been displaced by the Darkfall?
The what?
The Darkfall, dear. The Darkfall, the destruction of the uncharted territories of the Expanse."
Wait, where? What? Wait, no, I was there. I was what? No, hang on. I was in the uncharted territories looking for my parents. Where
Oh.
am I?
You're in the mining outpost of Gerasol, just in the Crystallatoid Basin. Sunstone Valley?
I don't know how I got here.
Yes, well, we
I
have
was-
to assume that you were a victim of the Darkfall. Come. We'll get you cleaned up.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And over the next few weeks, you come to know some of the people in this town, and you learn of Darkfall
Mhm.
and what happened to the place you were searching for your parents. And it's not good.
Choo choo.
Okay. Okay. So that new thing in the sky. Okay.
It was the government is in disarray. They pretend that they aren't, but they are. We are without our master mage. No one knows where she has gone. We all suspect that she is dead. For why else would she stay away so long?
She could be dealing with very important tasks, and so she can't come back yet. That's what I always said about my parents.
Well, the Chancellor has not said anything either, and that does not bode well.
Yes, ma'am.
As Soda deals with these new traumas.
Yes.
Mary and Kingsley,
Hi.
you
Hi.
find you find yourself in Lafondi's military region of Lorimir, near the newly appointed Ash Keep, at the base of the newly renamed Ash Barrier. You're volunteering at the relief camp there, a place that was set up to help those who were displaced and injured during the Darkfall and its aftermath. You were assigned to the same team, and you were given the task of handing out food and clothing and tending to minor healing. You've been there for several days, and currently you and the other members of your small team, Abbott and Karnan.
You sound so happy with these names you've chosen.
I know. And you're having your meal break in one of the service tents here at the relief camp. Do you think they know yet?
know what? Yeah.
Well, who do you mean by they?
Anyone, the military, the government, the freaking master mage.
They have to know.
We wouldn't
I
be here if
mean-
they didn't know anything.
Yeah. My parents definitely know, and if nobody else said anything, they definitely would have brought it up with the group in charge whose name I can't remember. The consortium or
The-
the conglomeration, the council.
All of those things exist.
I know.
So, how
That's why I
many are
can't
we gonna go,
figure out
Karen?
which one it is.
Just keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay, are you talking about the governmental body? Because that's
Yes.
okay. That is the sovereign council.
The sovereign council. So
mean-
I'm sure they would both be bringing this to the attention of the sovereign council if they don't already know. I can't imagine that the master mage would not be aware of something of this magnitude.
God, who doesn't know at this point? I mean,
Well, I mean, okay. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they don't know it happened.
mhm.
I'm just saying, do you think they know yet? What?
It is.
Yeah. What is it? Stuff
Oh.
falls from the sky from some new planet, and
That I don't know.
I don't think anyone knows yet.
I mean, I think right now we just need to focus on helping people.
I don't know. Do you think they'd tell us even if they did know?
Yes.
I wouldn't tell us.
I don't think they'd tell us unless they were certain that we would understand. That we
I
could do any.
I think they would tell us so that we would be rest assured that it wouldn't happen again, or if it's something that could happen again, that they would, tell us to prepare us.
But what if it's something that we don't know what's coming? I mean, if it's something bad, if it's like something we need to be scared of, they might
And that's
not
why they
tell
wouldn't
us.
tell us.
Exactly. It could be to try to stop a panic. But then again, they could always just be like, oh, well, it's fine because they don't want to panic because, I don't know, panics cause a lot more problems to solve things, I guess.
Regardless,
yeah.
I think that's something that we would need to worry about much, much further in the future. I doubt they've had any time to figure that out. We're just trying to help the people right now.
Mm. I just don't trust the government. That's all I've got to say.
I
I
understand that.
Definitely
What do you
don't
think?
trust the
What do you-
chancellery.
Yeah. What do you think, Costello?
I don't think anything. I think that you're right. We're here to help people, not spread gossip. It's not gossip.
I think we need to have a lighter tone. It's a lot. Sorry, no, I mean, there's a lot going on right now. And I mean, I guess, I don't know. If we,
Let's
if icebreakers, let's make it a
Yeah.
little
let's
nicer.
let's start by focusing on the positive. Look around. My dad always told me when that something bad has happened, you can always look to see the people that are here to help.
Sounds a lot like what my parents told me.
And
I mean, we're all still here. That's a start, right?
yeah, but I wasn't out in the. I was all the way in Lapis when this happened. So
I know. I mean, we weren't there, but there are still people for us to help, and I think that has to be a good start.
But I think that's all more the same. People have come from everywhere to help.
And that there's still people to be helped, meaning that we haven't just lost an entire part of our population.
Well, as Mary and Kingsley attempt to brighten an otherwise not bright time,
Right at all.
Braylon, it's been weeks since the twin disasters and the disappearance and presumed death of the Master Mage. Pearl's government is in quiet crisis mode, trying to find answers and to keep the populace from panicking. As one who keeps their ear to the people, you know they're very close to failing in that mission. Consul Quiris Hydrox, the representative you were sent to aid 3 years ago, has summoned you to his office in the White Storm Rotunda.
Of course, I'll be there immediately.
So you enter his office, and it's for the size and grandeur of the Rotunda, which is the seat of government here in Pearl. His office is very modest. It's very clear the nomadic traditions which he comes, because there's nothing extraneous in the room. It's only what is in that room is what needs to be in that room. And he is sitting at a very simple wooden desk. And when you enter, he says, "Close the door."
I do so. You called for me?
Yes, I am aware of your interest in and connection to those people outside of our circle here. And I need to know, what are you hearing?
It's not good. Despite all efforts to keep a calm and to keep a panic from happening, the people are openly asking and wondering about where the Master Mage is and why they haven't done anything about this.
I've told the Chancellor that they need to tell people we need a sovereign, and without the Master Mage, we are sovereignless, and this council is useless.
I think we are at a point where much more trust would be gained by being open than trying to hide and pretend that things are fine. Obviously, things are not fine. But how would we go about? How could we possibly go about selecting a sovereign if there is no master?
That is for the Chancellery. They must choose a new Master Mage. But there are some. I do not pretend to understand the Gem Mages, but there is some talk amongst them that they cannot choose a new Master Mage because they don't choose. The magic chooses, and the power the Master Mage wielded has not returned to the wellspring or something. They're very mysterious, that group.
mean, if this power, if the power of the Master Mage hasn't returned, then yes, okay, clearly the Master Mage is still alive. But if the Master Mage is unable to come and help, as you say, there needs to be a sovereign chosen. I understand, the importance of tradition, but it's not like the people would know if the Chancellery just selected one among their members.
That's been suggested, and let's just say it did not go over well.
It's not going to go over well when the people riot either.
I do hope we're not quite at that stage yet.
Not yet, but they are getting there. People are scared. And scared people get desperate and do desperate things.
If Mistress Travis is not dead, I do wish she would send her Chancellery some type of sign, because if we do not do something soon, I fear what the military consuls are plotting.
Their plan has begun.
Pop-up ad, sorry.
Weird right we got coming up.
Acosta has been waiting for this moment. And I do not foresee him waiting long to seize it.
A coup by the military. It's only going to make things worse. Not only whatever damage do they do, but some people will be so desperate for leadership, they'll throw their weight behind it. Others will resist. Thousands of people, millions of people will die.
You should not put faith in our militaristic members' willingness to not allow that to happen. It is what they were bred for.
Has this argument been made to the Chancellery?
Of course it has. But they insist that the people are still with them.
They may be right for now, but I don't know how long that's true.
We need to write a report for the Chancellery. I want every rumor, every whisper, every fact you have heard from the people. And we will put this in this report and see if we cannot come up with a plan to save us all.
We should get started then.
And You and the consul have a seat at his desk, and you begin. He pulls out a scroll, because unlike a lot of the other consuls, he does not rely on the crystal technology to input and transfer data. He uses actual paper.
Sure.
And you begin to fashion a plea to the chancellery. So, finally, tonight, we return once more to Shadowfall, after it has settled into its new position in space. Elliot, it's been a long, exhausting day dealing with Bates and your father in your mother's absence. And you've retreated to your favorite spot in the Netherbrook grounds. The gnarl tree isn't really much of a tree anymore, if it ever was. But there's a beauty in its dark and mangled form that gives you comfort as you lean against it and begin to read your book. You've been reading for a while when you hear an odd noise, a sort of melodic chirping whistle.
And with that, Elliot is transported into a beautiful, lush garden and field with birds chirping and blue skies, and the floor is covered in beautiful green grass. The dying tree that she was leaning against before has become this lush green peach tree. In a distance, she can see deer and bunnies and all sorts of animals hopping around, which she has never seen outside of pictures in paintings that she's stolen, essentially, and books that she's also stolen, and descriptions of them in songs that she's also stolen. I feel like there's a theme in how she figures out outside the world. And with that, she tries to stand up where she's sitting so that she can kind of feel the atmosphere that she's in, but she can't move. She's stuck exactly where she is. And with that, she panics and is just hyperventilating, and in her mind, she can't fathom what is going on. And she tries to scream, asking for help from somebody, anybody that's around her, even though she knows that the tree that she always goes to tends to be pretty isolated because people suck.
As you attempt to scream, there's a new sound that catches your ear. And it's the sound of laughter. But it's not the mocking laughter that you're used to from Shadowfall. This laughter is happy and it's sweet. You turn toward the sound and you find 5 colorful humanoid figures. Their features are distorted like a watercolor in the rain. And they're not far from you. Their laughing continues as they wave and gesture for you to join them. Do you attempt to join them?
With what?
This feels like I'm in danger. Yes, she will try to stand up and move towards them, trying to speak at the same time.
So you try to get up, and for a moment you still feel held. And then there is a pulse around you of a purple energy. And you almost leap back to your feet. And the laughing figures are still waving you forward as they're moving away. And you take a step, and then you take another step, and you've almost reached them. When you take a step, and you fall into nothing. And you wake with a start. The world is back to twilight and black. Your book is hanging loosely from your hand. You fell asleep. But maybe if you're lucky, you can visit this new dream world again. And that is where we will end tonight.
Right on time.
What does it all mean, I wonder?
Love that lighter tone we got going.
I
Whitney
promise
did not
nothing. Absolutely
Whitney
lighter
did not
tone.
promise us a lighter
In
tone.
fact, I specifically said I promise nothing.
So we got at least 3 people who probably have, serious delusions.
So thanks for joining us on our adventures tonight. I hope you enjoyed this sort of sneak peek taste test into what's coming up in the new show. As for things that are happening around the network, we'll have a new blog post on Thursday, I believe. And then on Friday, our new episodes from YouTube will also be posted to the website. Next Monday, we have another episode of Guardians of Haven that better fix some stuff, or there's going to be some Fook and Alex to pay. And of course, we will be back here again next Tuesday for some more GemStars. I believe we are pushing the time to 7:30.
If we could, that would be great, or else I'd have to be consistently late.
So we are, the new show will starting at 7:30 to accommodate one of our cast members. So we do hope you will join us for our first official start of the series. GemStars, I want to give everybody a chance to say goodnight and plug any projects they have. We will start with Calvin.
All right. Well, this was super fun. I'm very excited for more character interactions. Really looking forward to us being able to bounce off each other, and really looking forward to more stuff with all those super cool pets. Again, I'm over on the Win with Dice channel on YouTube. We have gaming streams and podcasts, and it's a whole lot of fun times. So go there and check us out. And I'll pass it to Aaron.
Hey everyone! Thank you so much for joining us. I'm always honored by how many of you choose to spend your Tuesday nights with us. And for once, I'm not prepping anything else to do on the network for a while. So come watch the other shows and go back and watch old episodes. And we might have an exciting announcement in a week or so. So keep your ears peeled for that. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I am very excited to get all of these characters together and to start seeing all of their traumas bounce off of each other. So I'll see you all next week, and I will kick it over to Brandon.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I am looking forward to this first season of GemStars. And new game, new campaign. I think I need a new sign off. So instead of reading a book, how about you do something nice? Down to Jenny.
Oh god. Okay. Well, thank you all. Oh god. Wait. Hold up. I don't know if I'm about to get kicked off or not. Sorry. I was just like, ooh, wait. I have a screen time effect. But thank you all for coming. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be in an actual campaign. I have nothing to plug though. So what I'm plugging is come back here or else I'll be sad. I don't know. Have a great day. Make sure you guys drink water. Take care of yourselves. Bye. I will
What a
pass it
Morganite sign off.
Bye. I'll pass it over to Aunt Puppy.
Bye. See you next week. Play a game. Joe?
Yeah. I am so glad that this game is finally going. It's been occupying so much of my mind. I'm so glad it's finally here. Yeah, and as always, I mean, your hydration concerns were covered by Jimmy, but I will do my normal sign off because I feel it is very important. If you take medicine, please make sure to take your medicine. Take care of yourself because we love you and you need to love you too. Back to you, Wiki.
Well, that's all from us tonight. And by the facets of the Fondy, we'll see you here next week. Bye.
Ooh.
I'm actually not a bot.